Let's do some top of the trade with these great traders. Pro traders Phil Flynn of Fox Business Network News contributor, and Alan Knuckman, the chief market strategist at bullseyeoption.com. Round number one, dollar spring fall. The dollar's having the weakest start to a year on record. Is the dollar doomed?
Well, this dollar dive has been a big deal. Let's remember how quickly things have changed. Just a couple of years ago, people were talking about the dollar being at multi-year highs, and it was such a concern. And we talked about how it would be a catalyst once it did decline, and that's been very helpful to a lot of markets. The weaker dollar is very supportive of a lot of our markets and a lot of our stocks and a lot of our commodities and resources. So you've got to look at the positives of that. But it comes down to one word, TINA, T-I-N-A. There is no alternative. Used to be the mantra for the dollar, but it looks like there are with what's this global realignment. There are alternatives now.
You know, when you look at the dollar has been carrying the global economy on its back, and to the detriment sometimes to the United States companies, right? Our exporters have had to have a real time. Our farmers have had a difficult time with the strong dollar. So many of them have been at a competitive disadvantage. So this is a much needed break in the dollar, kind of a realignment.
Round two, high-ho silver. The price of silver is surging to the highest level since 2011. Will silver continue to gallop away?
Silver will explode. It could double in price. And we've seen some extreme volatility. And the reason why we're pretty convinced that it could do that is because based on historical norms, it's way too cheap. If you can compare it to gold and the gold-silver ratio, silver should be trading somewhere between $70 to $80 right now. They're not even close to that. And it's been the dog of the precious metals. Nobody's loved silver. Well, they're going to start loving it now. Now, when you look at, of course, trade deals coming into play, the possibility that we're going to be using more silver in a lot of products in the artificial intelligence space, silver is going to start to shine, and it's not going to be the dog of the metals too much longer.
Yeah, this could just be the beginning. Phil and I are old traders. We know how silver lays in the weeds, but when it starts, it gets going. And then you can see it very much move up. It's still 30% off its highs from 2011.
Round three, country climb. In the U.S., the S&P is up 3% from the February record high. The China ETF FXI is up 6% from the January one-year top. Which country will be the first to reach a new peak?
Well, it's not exactly a space race, but there is an interesting chase here to see who's going to make new relative highs first. Now, again, the S&P, we've been talking about how its inability to continue to sell off, even in bad news, is very much a positive sign. So it's not as much, it's not as important as what markets do as what they don't do. And it's had every opportunity to not come back, and has come back one more time, just like every other time in history. But if you look at the FXI, the FXI is also within striking distance of its one-year highs, but it's still 50% off its highs from 2007. So if you look at the big boys of China, you look at Baba, you look at Baidu, they're very much in the same sort of pattern that we saw with our tech stocks back after COVID, and they've got a lot of upside.
They do, but the one thing you have to remember, the rally in the U.S. side of the market is more solid because the rally on the Chinese side is all based off economic stimulus, not real economic growth.
Since we're talking countries, here's your bonus round question. What country plans to start using the euro currency in 2026? Hungary, Italy, or Bulgaria?
I'm going to go with Hungary.
I'm going to go with Bulgaria.
The answer is Bulgaria. Alan wins this week. Business First Hand will be right back.
Good guess.